Hi guys, welcome again on this channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you how to draft a basic bodice. Here are the measurements we're going to be using and the tools that we need. Okay, so I'm going ahead to draw my starting line with the set square to ensure that it's straight. Next thing we're going to be doing now is imputing our back length and our front length measurements. We have our front length measurements to be 16.5. However, our back length measurement to be 15 inches. We're going to be labeling this line as the center back, and that's where we are going to be starting from. Go ahead to impute the 16.5 inches front length measurement all across, and right now I'm going to be connecting all points together with a ruler. Next thing we're going to be doing now is impute our circumference measurement. That's our bust divided by 4, and we are going to be adding an half-inch allowance with as the ease. So our bust divided by 4 is 9.3, and we're going to be adding 0.5 inch at the center front. So bust divided by 2 is 37.5 divided by 2 and plus 0.5, and that's what we're going to be imputing right there as the center front line. So right now we're going to be marking out the 9.3, which is our back circumference. That's we are going to be taking out the ease. We are not going to be adding the ease right there. We are going to add the original back measurement, which is the 37.5 divided by 4. That's what we are going to be adding right now, which means that the ease will be towards the front because that's where the bust is, and that's where we really need that allowance. So that's where we really need the allowance. So the center front will be 0.5 in 0.5 much more than the center back. Right now I've gone ahead imputing the back neckline, which is 3 inches by 1 inches. 3 inches by 1 inch. Next thing we'll impute our shoulder measurements. We'll come down by 1 inch at the back, connect with the slope, connect the shoulder slope. We want to calculate our armhole right now. How do we get that? That's our bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. We're going to be imputing that right now. That's 7.75. 7.75. I'm going to be marking that all across. 7.75 from the shoulder slope of the back. So we are going to be squaring that across, connecting points with a ruler. That's our depth of side. The next thing we need to do is to impute our armhole. We are going to be creating our armhole right now, just to be sure that we are on the right path, confirming all measurements again, and now we are going to be creating an armhole. We're going to be dividing this line divided by 2. That's the armhole depth divided by 2. And what we have here, we're going to be marking it on that line. So for the back width, our back width here is 14, so which means that it's going to be 14 divided by 4, that's 7. We impute that measurement, we connect it to the shoulder like so, and we also connect it to that point between the center back and center front. So next thing we need to do now is impute our bust span, which is 4 inches. Our bust span is 4 inches. At this point we have to come down by 1 inch. I hope you can understand everything that I'm doing. Then we impute our darts. I'm going in imputing a dart of 1 inch, but I first need to calculate what I have there on the waistline so I will know how much that I'm going to be taking out. So right now I've gone ahead to calculate what I have there and to know if I take out the original waist measurement, how much excess am I going to be having left, just to be sure of that the 1 inch that is just going to be perfect. So I think the one that is going to be perfect right now, and I've gone ahead to connect the dart legs together. So after connecting the dart leg like this, we're going to be taking the little excess that we have after we must have done our calculation of what's on the waist, and that's just about ½ inch. I'm going to be connecting it back to the armhole. So that excess, we are not going to be needing it anymore. So we have been able to draft our back piece, our back bodice. Sorry. So the next thing we need to do now is to draft the front bodice. So the first thing we'll do is impute our neckline, neck measurement. This is 3 inches by 3 inches. For plus size, you can actually do 3.5, but this bodice 3 inches is just perfect. Use the curve ruler to get a perfect curve right here. So after which, we're going to be imputing our shoulder measurements. And unlike the back, when we come back by 1 inch, here we are going to be coming down by 1.5 inches. So we connect it together like so to the neck. And the next thing we also need to create here is to create our armhole for the front. And just to be sure that what we have on the shoulder is what we have here, we connect that 2 points together. Then we locate the half of this measurement, and here it is. Then we impute our front width measurement. Our front width measurement is 13 divided by 2, that's 6.5. We connect together like so, first with a ruler, then we do the rest with our curved ruler, and we've been able to create the perfect armhole for our front and our back bodice. Back panel, sorry. Okay, so the next thing we are going to be doing right now is we're also imputing our bust span right here, which is 4 inches. In imputing a bust span all across, then we mark out our bust point length. Our bust point length is 10.5, which I'm imputing like so, and that's where our dart is going to be starting from. So we'll go ahead to impute our dart of about 1.5 inches, which are going to be dividing by 2, and that's 0.75 on each side. The dart of the front is usually like ½ inch more than the back, because we definitely need more room at the front for the bust. I'll connect the 2 dart leg to this point, just like you see. And the next thing we're going to do, don't forget that we are still working with our front. We are still working with our front measurement of 16.5. So let's mark out the back length on the back. I hope you guys will not get confused with this thing I'm doing. Please don't get confused. So right now we are crossing out all the excess that we have below. So this is our 15 inches back length. So alright, next thing we are going to be doing, there's this 1.5 inch. This is 1.5 inch more than, is 1.5 inch less than the front. So just for us to ensure that the front and the back is the same, we need to use that excess to also create more room, and that's why we are creating the side darts now. So we'll use the 1.5 inch to create this side dart, and that's what we have just done right now. We're going to be labeling this the apex. So we're going to be taking out the remaining excess that we have on the front, and we're going to be connecting it just to this armhole part, just like you see. so we're not going to be needing that excess anymore. So let's go ahead to label our sides. Let's go ahead to also have to give this pattern a name if you are doing for several people. I usually like to give it write the name of the pattern, or whoever owns the pattern. I like to put the month and the year, depending on just how I feel like at the moment by which I'm making the pattern, just for identification. So let's go ahead to impute our bust, under bust length, under bust measurement. So under bust measurement is 14 inches. We'll go ahead to impute that at the center front and also across the front panel. We are going to be marking it like this. We go ahead to label all the lines, and that's it, guys. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share and also subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video. I hope you find this helpful. Bye.